Here, hey, wow, that just popped up, didn't it? Now let's put that on smooth next time. Hello, Internet. I presume we are online. I have not checked the Facebook yet. I see we're on YouTube. It's all I'm aware is that we're on YouTube. So hello. No swears from now on. We're coming in and I'm going to drop a revelation on you.
Whoa.
Pirates of the Caribbean 3 got weird.
Ooh.
I didn't remember much of it. I've been kind of slowly plodding through them, like a half an hour to an hour at a time, because they're really long movies. And yeah, looking forward to Well, I don't know if I'm looking forward to Stranger Tides. I can't remember if I like that one. But,
I don't see an announcement on.
What's up, Chilla? What are you looking for?
The Facebook.
Are we not
feed.
on the Facebook? Oh, hey, you know what? You know what? Everything was screwed up from last week. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Hold on a second. We'll be back if you're on. Hey, there we are. Well, there's Baby Yoda and the AT-AT.
Stop. I got yelled at last week for using the book that I used to prop up the AT-AT.
Oh,
so
no.
It's on something else.
I'm sorry because I asked you what the book was and everybody knew.
Well, no, apparently it's the most expensive book we own, or one of the most expensive books we own.
Buy the digital. Buy the digital. Come on. Come on, everybody. Relax. Hey, you know, I get it. I've been eyeing because I rearranged things. And like the only DVDs, actually, well, okay, yeah, the only DVDs we have downstairs are we got the extended edition Lord of the Rings DVDs that have like, I don't know, 10 hours of content or something. And then I still have all my Star Wars VHSs from those box sets.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, I don't have as impressive a Star Wars trilogy collection as you do, but I think I got 2 of the black boxes, and I got one of the special editions. I found at half-price books for like $4.
Oh, nice.
A few years ago. So what's up, everybody? Things apparently are working, and my mom's out there watching. Hi, Mom. We're going to talk about scary things. A little bit. Let's see. Oh, Chilla, good pull for awesome thing. So, Katie, I think, like, on your feed, do you have an AC going or something?
No.
Because she does have a little bit of, like, staticky...
So I've been trying to figure out for weeks. What happens is, and this is tech stuff, guys. I can hear your gain going up and down when you're not talking. And then sometimes I'll hear your keyboard and stuff from that, because it's, like, it's ramped up, so I'm hearing more of the room.
That's
like,
wild.
I'm not sure.
The only thing I can think of is it's the refrigerator, but that's in the next room.
No, it's not that kind of.
It was. I mean, in your other spot, you were doing it too. It was doing it too. It's something. It's something about the way it was pulling. That's your phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's weird because I turned off the AC and I turned off the fan.
Yeah. No, everything's great there. So the other thing I love, because I haven't done it yet, and actually, give me a second. I want to pull this up on the Instagram because we've been trying to do that lately.
Have you been noticing it for a while, or is this just as of the last month?
Yeah, like the last month, probably.
Okay.
Is my feed horrible?
No, your feed is great, Chilla. You're always awesome. But the great thing is, she's running off, she's running away. The great thing is when this goes live on the Instagram in a moment after I fix this thing, whenever her shot pops up, it's just going to be Yoda for them. And it's going to be wild, and I love it.
Because we're vertical.
Because we're vertical, and it won't, like, I don't know another way to kind of push it through there, right? With the tools I have here. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we're talking heads that are mostly centered. Is she back? Katie.
Is that any different?
It is different. Tap your mic, please.
Oh, it's back.
Is it back?
Talk again.
Hello, I like cheese.
You're
Do you like cheese?
You're
cheese
really delayed now. Interesting.
Oh, that's really weird.
I don't know.
Oh, it's really, it is really delayed.
Like it wasn't before, was it?
No.
Should we jump out and jump back in?
Yeah, that might be it. Because when you unplugged and plug it back in, it probably like clicked the driver and threw things out of sync. Hello? Hello?
She's like a Flash.
What?
That help?
I think so.
Talk to me.
Hi, I like cheese. Do you like cheese? Cheese is good.
Yep, you're good.
Yep.
Is the sound
back
better?
in sync.
Yeah, I mean, not detecting any problems, but it always happened like if you didn't talk for a little bit. So, we'll give it a minute and see how this goes.
Yay!
All right.
If not, let me know.
I'm gonna kick off this Instagram push, and then we'll get going here and do a show in a quasi-timely manner. Thank you, everybody that's joining us. Wherever you may be, we should be streaming out there on the Facebook, on the Instagram in a moment, and where else? Periscope, Twitch, YouTube. So hello out there, and we're going to get going here in just a very minute.
Catch us on your real player.
Catch us on your real player. That's right. We are live. We are live over there. So wherever you like to catch the show. So let me try to pull up one or two other chat rooms. Just be safe. This is $4.99 tonight.
$4.99.
Yeah, the big 500 next week. The big 500. Can't have a party.
It's like $4.99. Buy one, get one free.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, let's click this and actually push the video. That will help too. It's a strange thing because it will actually push. It makes it think it's pushing video, but then you actually need to connect all the stream keys to a video that pushes it out. So you can't start with the video. You start with a blank slate on Instagram before you can actually push video. It's very strange. There I am. Super zoomed me. Okay, here we go. And record. And record. And that thing's not set up to record. Hold on, let me format this hard drive. Boink. Formatted. Record. Backup. Okay. Hey guys, it's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, and this is your Tuesday night delight. We are talking all kinds of geeky things, and the crew with me tonight, the usual crew. First of all, from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, Pennsylvania, is the gadget guru over at Big Bank International, Esquire, John Chilla.
How's it going?
All right. Are you decorating?
I'm trying. I had so many things that went through my head, and all I could think was
and
stay
you're just
PG, stay PG.
Hi, I'm here. It's like
stay on target.
We don't even go off PG too often, but somebody said, "Hey, there might be kids watching tonight," and now it's all like Like all you want to say are the dirty words, and you stop yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chilla, you have like more. I don't know if it's a new angle or something, but you're well decorated back there. Were you getting jealous of Katie's setup the last couple of weeks?
So I have a wider, because I moved webcams to the 4Ks, and the way I started positioning things, I have a wider shot. I need to load. The other thing is, on the other laptop, I had some software that had me zoomed in, so it cropped.
Well, it's easy because you have all the Ks on that
Yes.
camera you have over there, so you're able to do something like that.
I'm gonna see what happens. Maybe we can invest in an 8K and see what happens.
8K, jeez, man, jeez. I was excited. I rendered a video out in 2K this week because it was vertical video and it was like demonstrative of an engine, and I didn't want to like take away the quality just in case somebody was not watching on an iPhone, I guess. So like I'm like, well, if we figure out what the vertical is, and so now it's like a 2K video. So anyways, hey, you know what? Who's also here? Dudders. Dudders is here. Hi. With her friends are back with her with Baby Yoda and the Adet.
Yeah, I got Baby Yoda, a root beer float, and a WWE cup, and I'm wearing a Taco Cat shirt. I'm having an awesome day.
Living her best life over there. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the Periscope chat over there. A little distracted, but we're going to talk about some geeky things. Hey, we got some big stuff coming up here. I want to put this announcement out. First time putting this out. So next week is our 500th episode. We are over 10 years of doing this at the AwesomeCast, and I wanted to have a party. Then people said we can't have a party because, I don't know, some virus or something going on there. So we're going to do something different. We did a version of this for the Wrestling Mayhem Show 700 earlier this year, too. Since I can't invite you all here, I would like, and I'm not putting 10 people in a Google Meet again for a show because I'm still recovering from doing that for like 3 Christmases ago. And what the wrestling guys are doing to me right now. But if you guys want to be a part of the show next week for AwesomeCast 500, I'm inviting everybody listening, our past guests and co-hosts and everything. If you want to kind of give a little shout out for the AwesomeCast, your favorite AwesomeCast memory, anything like that, something you learned from the AwesomeCast, please give us a short, 30-second or minute long at tops video, and email that over to awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com, or send a link on our social media, but ideally probably the email address, awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com, and we will include that in the show next week. So so if you guys want to be a part of that, we're going to put something together with that, and hopefully we can celebrate here. 10 years of this podcast. It's incredible. It's incredible that it's been so long, and you could tell when you look at the first few episodes of that too. And we'll probably look back at what was the tech of 10 years ago as part of that too. So excuse me, hiccupy. But anyways, please go check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can, like I said, email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. Tweet us at awesomecast, and of course please follow the Facebook page for AwesomeCast. Please also follow the Facebook group. There's a lot of great discussions happening over there, of course, where we a lot of people are sharing their stories throughout the week that we do include on the show. We have a few listed here for the show today, of course, but if you guys can be a part of the show that way and part of the ongoing discussion with things that we share for the show there too. You can also please, if you are joining us right now live on whatever format that may be, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, please hit the heart, hit the share, whatever function there is, hit the watch party if you'd like to share the AwesomeCast with your friends over there, anything to help hop people and check out what we're doing here live on the show, which is live again every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are also very fortunate to have our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast, our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, and John Carmen, and our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, pghmuseums.org, and Dave Podner. I have to get to the Google Meets chat room for that. But anyways, you guys can support the show too, and thank you so much for everybody who does over at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. And I understand that Katie, you went to a strange land to buy or sell turnips. I don't know, something about turnips. I keep
turnips.
Twitter has turned into the non-topical public news thing that I get constantly on my Twitter is the turnip futures, basically.
So I as you know, I play a lot of Animal Crossing with my niece, and usually I just stick to friends as far as buying turnips go. And it was getting towards the end of the week. And if you've ever played Animal Crossing, you have the opportunity to buy turnips Sunday morning before noon and then sell them during the week for a higher price. It's the stock market. We've talked about this. But for the first time, I was getting towards the end of the week and none of my friends had any good prices for their turnips. And I was like, oh, darn it. And so I went on Twitter and I just put in the search turnip latest. And some of it was actual real life turnip, and then a lot of it was people who had turnips for a good amount of money, amount of bells still. So I was looking, and somebody had it for 600, I don't know, 580 or something. It was some really high number, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And at first he just sent out his dodo code, and then he went and it got a little chaotic because people trying to get in and out. It was just an absolute mess. And so he was like, try this. And it's like turnip.exchange. And on that, the host can set up essentially a waiting room. And you sign up to be in the waiting room. And when it's your turn, you get the dodo code. So you don't actually get the dodo code is what enables you to visit. Mm-hmm. You don't get that code until it's your turn. So it was really neat because you can allow how many people visit you at one time, max number of people in the waiting room, until you had to wait to get into the waiting room. But it was really organized, really neat. It was very straightforward because some people will sell their turnips when they're high, or allow you to come to their island to sell their turnips when they're high, but they ask for things in return, like things that you might not have when you arrive, and you go, oh, darn, I didn't know I was supposed to bring this. But this puts it like straight up front. The person who is selling, allowing you to come to the island to sell your turnips is expecting this in return. A lot of times it's just tips, thankful, some bells that you get from selling. I made it was like 1.5 million bells when I did my little turnip. But it was a really neat system. Yeah.
Is it like tipping your dealer after a good game of blackjack at the?
Yes.
Okay.
And he made a decent amount of money because I know I tipped him a lot because I was like, hey, thanks, buddy. I would never have this much money unless I could visit your island. But it was really neat, really organized. And like I said, you can check it out. That's turnip.exchange. And it's very straightforward what people are looking for. And really, I thought it was really easy and it wasn't scary. I was nervous because I was like, I'm flying to a stranger's island. And he was in a different time zone because I landed and he was 2 hours behind me. And I don't...
And
this is exciting.
So you're getting your travel bug with that, with just sitting at home.
Yeah.
So is it that he gets, and I'm sorry, I don't follow the turnip exchange, but help me understand. So does he set the turnip price, or is it by luck of the draw he got good, like high turnip prices so you could come sell there?
It was luck of the draw. So throughout the week, twice a day, your turnip, you'll go to you have a little Nook Mart, and you walk in and say how much are you buying turnips for today, and they'll have a price till noon, and then noon till I think it's 8 o'clock or something along those lines, or 9 when they close. And if the turnip prices, I've seen mine as low as 44 bells, so seeing them at like almost 600 is huge. And you check. If you're into it, you check twice a day to see where your turnip prices are at. And if they're really high, you let your friends know and go, hey, come to my island. Let's visit, make money and do all this fun stuff. So it's really, there are apps that are supposed to predict like when your turnips will like go the highest that it will on your island and then drop back down again. But that requires you inputting data from each day. It's amazing what people will go into the game in the backside of the game and see the code and be able to figure these things out. And there's, like I said, there's apps that will kind of exploit that, but will use that information.
There was something like that because Pokemon Go had something like that where they would have these apps or sites that you could download, and it would somehow it was pulling information to give you chances of finding certain Pokemon on a map.
Neat.
And they all got shut down. They They all got a
They used to track the nests because the Pokemon spawn consistently and then they rotate like every couple weeks or something. So I know there wasn't like a nest tracker.
Okay.
It would tell you what was spawning where, but it was based on user reporting from what I had heard.
So there's those, but I think there were ones that actually did kind of get like somebody was logging into an account and was able to pull stuff or something. So you're gonna have those hacks, but that's awesome that they this what did we call it before? It's the Animal Crossing black market when we were talking about exchanges a few weeks ago.
Well, you can't even get into that now because there's been a lot of issues of people using real money to buy. So there's a literal like black market area where they're doing that, and you people then those are getting shut down left and right because Nintendo had figured out that people were spending real money on items.
And if the money's not going through Nintendo, they get a piece of it. They're not going to be happy with that.
Not taking their cut.
So staying on the video game line of things, Chilla, you have something for an awesome thing. And I saw a little bit of stuff about this, but I haven't seen any video on it yet.
Yeah, so the at least the cutscene official trailer is at the front of that. But EA, from what I had heard or gathered last weekend, there was an unfortunate leak of their next video game, Star Wars Squadrons, on I can't remember who was it, Microsoft's site. It was somebody's site where they had leaked potentially some game photos and whatnot. So EA announced on yesterday, Star Wars Squadrons. It's the new first-person starfighter dogfighting game. Nice. It's their next game in the Star Wars world. And it's going to be primarily dogfighting. It will be multiplayer, as well as online. And for those on a PC or a PlayStation, it will support VR. I feel like this is the perfect game for VR because you're stationary in a cockpit versus trying to like mimic the feeling of running around. So I feel like this is going to be super cool in the VR space. And as a fan of, X-Wing and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all those games from back in the day, I'm super happy that they've gone down this path. And I will be actually probably purchasing this. This will be like my first foray into probably PlayStation Online.
Wow.
And it will support crossplay.
Yeah.
So they're going to support Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC crossplay.
We talked about that last week with EA and Need for Speed Heat. So this is the continuation of that. So that's good to see. And we're seeing a lot of stuff pop up with that. So yeah.
Now the trailer looks like it's pretty much cutscene footage.
Oh yeah.
And on the 18th, so in 2 days, they'll be revealing the in-game play at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern at the EA Play Live event.
There you go. Look out for that. I'm going to drop this in the chat room for you guys out there asking for it. So over on the Facebook, but this is exciting. Playing a little bit. We were talking about the VR last week, but playing a little bit of more kind of on rails kind of stuff. I'm interested to see something where you actually do fly the plane as well, and if that perception kind of helps you or not, right? So that'll be cool. But also remember, it's going to be a cross thing, so it's not entirely dependent on VR, right? Like they made it for you having a flat looking at the screen. So
yeah, they definitely made it for you looking at it, but I'm hoping they adapted it for the VR in a way that it's like when you look down and to the right, you're going to see inside the cockpit.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm hopeful for is someone comes out, if not EA, with a very nice kind of joystick.
Oh, you want a flight stick
experience? I want a flight stick.
It's kind of due for that. I feel like we haven't had. Are there flight simulator fans that are still diving into those really hardcore these days? Like I'm not sure.
I think so.
I'm
What
sure
was it?
somebody is.
There is a dog fighting game that was updated a year or two ago, and they had like the Thrustmaster joystick
wow.
and throttle combo. So.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Like the last big thing I remember was Steel Battalion, which I think was a Capcom game for the original Xbox. It was a giant twin stick thing. I had a friend that had one of those. I was just like, that is obscene. Like that's a $200 controller for one game. So I don't know. Well,
remember they all had the suction cups at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, that hardly worked. It was like, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So, getting out of video games for a moment, we are going to be readjusting our Patreons because you too can get a Boston Dynamics Spot Robot Dog for a mere $74,500. I think they said it's yours for the price of a Tesla Model X. So if you want to scare your neighbors with your robot dog, or just keep your Chihuahua company, like maybe I would. It's completely, this has been mostly in the testing phases, and of course we know Boston Dynamics was LinkedIn. I'm sure they still are now that they've been sold off by I almost said YouTube, Alphabet, Google. So now you've just opened that up for everybody. So is they're going to continue to upgrade Spot as they get feedback. I want to see what people do with this now that it's kind of in hands of more than the testers, I guess, at this point. Like we're going to get Spot related. Spot is now patrolling somebody's house. Is the neighborhood watch for your neighborhood, or something like that. So that's fun. So I wonder how long before, like, is this like a car where like in 2 years from now, like you're going to be able to get a Spot for like half the price? Like it's just going to ramp down?
It would be super scary if it did become so affordable that everyone had one, and then like the neighborhood watch like put them all in sync to like attack.
Ooh.
Like all the Spots wake up in the middle of the night and detect an intruder 4 houses down and swarm the house. Like, I don't know. It just seems creepy to me.
There has to be some kind of guards on something like that, right? So.
Or like, could you imagine driving down your street and you like make the turn and there in the street is like 52 of these things staring at you?
That becomes a new riot control, right? Actually, probably make a little more sense. Anyways, so from that, I'm sorry. So I keep going back to, and I remember the story about, and I was not around the Oakland neighborhood when this was apparently happening. I think it was a food delivery robot that was like, it was like a 6-wheel little like trash can lid thing that was autonomously riding around the Oakland neighborhood on the sidewalks. Like this is the thing that's happening. Like I'm waiting to drive by something like that and just be like, well, there's a little robot thing on the side of it. It becomes like, what was it? Back to Future 2, where there was like, something walking, like a floating thing of drone walking the dog. I always remembered. It'll just become that kind of thing that you're passing by and just be like, oh, look, it's one of those guys. But anyways, hey, you know what? It continues to not need too much innovation. Is our friends at Slice on Broadway down here in Pittsburgh, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, PNC Park. The Pittsburgh Pirates, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with a perfect pepperoni pizza for most of our 10 years of the AwesomeCast. Want to thank those guys over at Slice on Broadway. Check them out, sliceonbroadway.com, and give them a shout out from the AwesomeCast. So let's get into our stories from the Facebook group. We had Amanda Narcissi, Bold Pittsburgh, sent this one in. I don't know what to think of. Apparently, and we've had Kentucky Fried Chicken gets a lot of stories along this show, right? And apparently they announced a new video game console that they intend to launch on November 12th, 2020. It claims to be cross-compatible and has a chicken tray. So you can, warm your chicken while you're playing Assassin's Creed, I guess. So there you go. There's a they announced it. I mean, no real details, just your video on Twitter that had popped up. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a thing. I don't know if this is going to be I feel like it's just going to be like a DVD player with a chicken tray, right? That they'll have on display or something. But so that was a weird thing this week. We also have Cameo. Dave Bonner pointed this out. Cameo. Are you guys familiar with Cameo? It's the service where you can pay to have like a celebrity like send a message like for somebody's birthday or something like that. We know it a lot because we know pro wrestlers that do it. Like we actually know personally some pro wrestlers that have like you could go get a Cameo from them for like $20 or something. And I think we figured out Roman Reigns is on there and he charges $600 for a Cameo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so Cameo apparently, according to Podner, will now let you have a Zoom call with a celebrity for up to $15,000. So if you want to have a Zoom call with Jeremy Piven and talk about, I don't know, some movie that Jeremy Piven was in, none off the top of my head right now. I can't remember what he was promoting when he was on Monday Night Raw right now. But I know he does things. But there you go. Damn. That's interesting.
So it's interesting. It's interesting that they went this route because Wizard World has gone this route with like their to have virtual panels and autograph sessions where you pay.
Wait a minute.
And you get like queued up almost like you're in line to get an autograph at a Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's your turn, like you have like so many minutes, like what you would have up there with the person, and then you get an autograph in the mail.
Interesting. So the difference is probably like there's like a blocked out time for the celebrity, right? So when everybody pays in and gets their time slot and everything, like it's like a bulk pricing for I don't know, the guy from Supernatural's time or something like that, like whatever the case may be, right? We're talking about I want to schedule a thing with Jeremy Piven. It's weird. This is the one that we're going with, but I want to schedule time to have a chat with Jeremy Piven when we can have a chat with Jeremy Piven, like flat out, right? And I don't know is he $15,000, and I'm sure it's like a lot of like how much is my Mark Hamill? How much is my can I have a conversation with Burt Ward? Can I
Gilbert Gottfried's $150
for the Zoom call or the Cameo?
That's for Cameo.
Okay.
Here, I'll bring up the pricing wasn't like I was looking at the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't more than what your autograph would cost at the con.
Mm.
No, because I'm looking at oh gosh, which group is this one? They're like $65. This is the Doctor Who crew.
This is over on San Diego Comic-Con or Kansas?
This is Wizard World.
Wizard World, okay.
So they have virtual experiences with people from Star Wars. So you could get now. I mean, you're not getting Mark Hamill, but I don't think it's going to let me see him because it was in the past. Maybe it will.
So sorry, I got confused because I know we have a San Diego Comic-Con story later in the feed. But okay, so you can go in here and get your virtual experience, and we're talking these are one-on-ones or are these like panels?
So I think it's depending on which one you pick, it's a panel followed up by a one-on-one like autograph session.
Okay.
That was the way I read it.
And you have to stand in line. You get 2 minutes or something with everybody, right?
Yep. So like you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
So Grant Ward, like one of the agents and bad guys from You get a video recorded message, $65, and the autograph session, $75.
Okay.
Oh, the live chat, the sale's over. But
Okay, I found it. Over here. So I mean,
Carl from Walking Dead is $80.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad. I mean, there's no I don't see Agent Coulson as a part of this, but that's like the rest of the cast. Okay.
yeah, I feel like Wizard World, you're still not getting. I mean, I've never seen like Robert Downey Jr. level.
No.
But I mean, Philly has gotten. They had Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and some of the bigger Avengers stars, but I've never seen the Robert Downey Jr. or Scarlett Johansson or anyone like that.
Yeah, like
I got Anthony Mackie's autograph.
I'm looking at the Gotham one, and all they have is the Solomon Grundy guy. So he's $60.
The guy that played the Penguin, he was in something else. I've seen him. He's been at some of those.
Okay, I can see that.
Worlds.
I can see that. There's a Caddyshack one. There you go. Do I get to meet the gopher? Yeah. That movie probably didn't age well.
So people need to make their money somehow.
Yeah. There's a Runaways one. Marvel's Runaways. I'm still trying to finish that. That last season's a rough one.
I'll tell you have you watched Riverdale?
No.
Oh. So it's based on like the Archie comics?
It's messed up Archie. Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm
Oh,
ready for
you
that.
have to.
I don't know.
It's so good. We've binged like 5 seasons in like 3 weeks.
Whoa.
4 seasons.
I'm looking at the end of the regular Arrowverse. I need to get into some of the Black Lightning and the side ones that have started since. But anyways, back to the stories. So you can pay a lot of money to talk with people apparently. So where was I? This was an interesting story. The Wire did a story about on 9/11. Pagers, payphones, and dial-up, how we communicated on 9/11. Fascinating article. I got a chance to skim it a little bit, but also I remember being not there, but I remember that day and being in the city and remember like I don't think I even had a flip phone at that point that I could call, but anybody that did couldn't even get a call out, right? So that's kind of wild because I mean, for people our age, it's probably like it's the last great everybody remembers event, right? Other than whatever the hell is happening this year. So
this entire year.
Basically this entire year it is interesting to look at because it is a little bit of, you know, today when something happens, like, you know, whether they be these George Floyd protests in the last couple of weeks or you know, anything else around the world, if something happens, especially in the United States, like the technology just presents it, right? And we're talking about, there's a whole paragraph in here about somebody with his high-end pager and how it was working that day. There's phone messages from people, of course, as they were, you know, maybe being called because they were in a tower, or whatever the case may be. So it's a fascinating look back, you know, being, you know, nearly 20 years after, about what we had there and kind of imagining a world where we didn't have these cell phones that had everything absolutely connected like we do today. So definitely something worth a listen and putting on your reading list a little later. So
I think if, like, I noticed, Amanda had a note that she thought it was interested, like what would happen if the attacks would have happened today and what we would have seen on social. I think we would have been exposed to a lot more videos that they quote unquote protected us from.
Yes.
Like the real, I don't want, carnage is not the good word, but oh gosh, you know.
I mean, there would have been, you think about it, yeah, because some of that stuff still gets kind of trickled out and had been over like at least 5 years after the event, right?
Yeah.
You know,
there's much more available to us now than there was then.
If the same event happened, it would have been on Facebook Live. You would have had so many angles on Facebook Live, like that, full stop. You know, and whatever else, you know, it would have been like everywhere. So that was definitely what would happen. It'd be a whole different situation. So. All right, but no, good thing to reflect on, especially as things are, changing at a rapid pace, even today. So, and in the worst transition ever, I'm going to remind you that we have a lot going on here, of course, over Sidekick Media Services right here, housed in Sorgatron Media Studios in here in Beachview. We've been working throughout the last several months with a lot of people, really reworking a lot of strategies for a lot of people trying to work through a post-COVID world. We are definitely spitting up some new video projects for the first time in a couple of months. It was good to dust off the cameras with everything going on. And of course, we've been doing a lot of podcast work for people over the last several months, and even just a little bit running a little bit of support on some virtual events actually that replaced some of the events that we would have been attending with the video camera. So a little bit of media services here and there, helping some churches get hooked up for multimedia so they can continue to have their service no matter what happens with any future lockdowns or anything like that. So please go check out what's going on, sidekickmediaservices.com. It was a very simple concept video that we did this past week, but debuting on Thursday, our buddy Nick Iben is actually going to be debuting his latest music video that we shot. So go please check that out as well. So it's called My Only One, and there's a Facebook event for that, so you can get a reminder for it. So please go look up Nick Iben. That's Nick EIBEN over on the Facebook, and you'll get a notification and event for that, and you can check that out on Thursday. And check out the other great videos we've done with him too. We've done a lot of music. It's something like 6, 7, 8 music videos we've done with him at this point. So always a great partner to work with, and some cool stuff. So go check out what's going on over at sidekickmediaservices.com, and we can be the sidekick to your superhero project. So let's hit up some more of these stories here. Katie, you got to visit the Phipps, I saw, and you said there's a lot going on with Pittsburgh Museums in general, right?
Yeah, they just so the Carnegie Museums just opened up their ticketing. Pittsburgh Zoo has opened up their ticketing. Phipps has obviously opened up their ticketing. It's all time ticketing, so you essentially pick a half-hour time slot so they can control how many people are coming in at one time. Mm-hmm. But Phipps was great in regards to making sure kept keeping everything was clean and had hand sanitizer stations, and everybody was wearing masks, which made me feel better. Mm-hmm. And so it was a fun day, and I still really enjoyed it. And actually I understand it's definitely harder for the museums and everything to have the lower capacity and still make the money. But as a guest of the museum or a customer, it's so nice with the slower traffic, because you have that time to go in and really look around at things. But they've opened it back up. A lot of them are doing members only weekends, like the Carnegie Museums are doing members only weekend. Phipps did a members only weekend. But yeah, I was going to say, there's a great website, pghmuseums.com, with a listing of all the local museums, almost all the local museums. They're adding new ones all the time. But within that, you just pick on something close to you, and you'll be directed to their website, and you're able to see if they're opening up too.
So when you did that, when you get your kind of entry or what time your time slot to enter, are you given an exit time, or are they just trying to work through? They'll do their best to get you in on time based on people exiting, or?
It's the way they do it is it's just the entrance time. There's not an exit time. But they do have a pathway that you follow now. Like there's arrows, so they're kind of moving people along, so you're not spending a whole bunch, maybe a very, very long period of time in front of something because there's people behind you. Not like like I said, not like there was a lot of people, but they just kind of the arrows definitely keep you moving along, which was nice.
Was the butterfly forest open?
No, that's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
No.
Yeah, that was a spring thing.
Oh. Yeah.
So they have the summer flowers up now. And then I'm not sure what they'll do fall and then winter. And we'll have the Christmas one again with the lights. Winter Wonderland.
I need to go. I still need to go for the first time. So
I'm a member. I can take you.
Awesome. We'll have to work that out. Work out some scheduling there then. Awesome. So What, guys? I want to play. I want to do that. We need to schedule an awesome cast time to do this. And I have an ad blocker, and Forbes is not happy about that right now. So there is an app that I heard about last week, and oh geez, I've turned off my ad blocker. Come on. But it's called, oh no, where's it at? Interactive movie app. No, where'd it go? It's What Ify. It's a movie app. You can, I think, have up to 9 people watching the movie along with you through an app on your phone, right? So I'm thinking this is a Quibi kind of situation. And through it, this is not loading well. You have to. It's remember the Black Mirror episode a while ago, and there's the Minecraft ones that are the interactive ones on Netflix. So it's interactive. There's 2 movies on there right now, but in order to move forward, you have to be unanimous on the choices as a group.
That sounds like it would be rough.
So it feels very escape room-ish, like in concept a little bit. And here's the app. You got a movie called Anatomy of a Decision. Let's see, you got 64 paths you can do in that movie, right? And they're going to be doing more as well. And then they also have one called As Dead as It Gets. That one only has 16 paths. So if you want something a little less complicated to go through, so this is the idea, and I think does it move sideways with your phone? Is it that Quibi thing? It kind of came out of nowhere, but definitely worthwhile. And of course, I'm horrible with planning things with people that don't involve podcasts. So we need to get a watch time for this.
So how long does it actually last?
I that's the other thing too, because I'm like, well, how much time do I put aside for this thing too, right?
Maybe we just broadcast ourselves next week playing this for episode 500.
There you go. Why not? So can I even watch something by myself? That was the other thing. I'm like, can I just watch it by myself? And am I required to have a friend?
Do you have 2 phones?
Do I have 2? Ooh, okay. All right. Let's see what it does. Let's see. I'm in here, and oh yeah, you actually can just watch it by yourself. That doesn't sound fun. You can zoom in. What is happening here? I know I don't have this put into you guys, but I can invite a friend. So I don't have any friends on here. But and I don't want to give it my contacts because I don't know what company this is that I'm giving my entire address book to. So I don't think I'm ready for that. I'm not ready for that, What Ify. We're not that good of friends. This was a cool one. I love Chilla's asking me, what is the Wise announcement next week? And I'm like, Chilla, I have no background information. I'm not a real journalist. Come on. You know what?
Just play one on a podcast.
I just play one on the podcast. You should message our actual real journalists that we that we know from this show, including. But I did share the Wise Band. I thought looked pretty impressive, and there's actually a story by. Speaking of actual journalists that we know, our friend Kim Lyons actually had this article over on The Verge. It's the Wise Band. It's part fitness tracker, part A-Train smart home controller. So this thing is $25, and judging by the videos and stuff and the first looks, like it looks like a really colorful, a decent screen. It's a thin fitness band situation, but it also has, again, like the voice notifications, and it will sync with all your Wise devices. So like that was.
But if it syncs with A-Train, I'm thinking of syncing even further than past your Wise devices.
Well, I would think. So maybe that's where they get to make that claim, right? Like, hey, we sync you with A-Train Echo, and then that in turn has an interface with all your Wise and everything else that's not our brand. So I mean, I'm so at odds with Wise these days because they're not like a product company. They're more of a distribution company of sorts, I think, where they bring we have the thermometer, and they were doing masks and everything. Like they just like this company is really good at sourcing Chinese stuff, right? Chinese technology and items. And there's like, it's a supply chain situation. Like they obviously, apparently are doing the software for the Wise cameras and everything to be nice and have an app and everything like that. By the way, I started paying for the Wise full motion because you would get like maybe a 10-second clip no matter what happened when it detected motion or sound. Now it stays like for the entire course of motion happening, basically, right? So you have those clips and they're a little more useful if something actually happens. We have 3 cameras. I'm paying like $4 something a month. That's it.
So you don't have it, like you don't have micro SD cards in there just recording all the time?
They do have that. You do have that, but the whole idea is you get like, hey, something happened, look for the event with the person, click that event instead of it cutting off after 10 seconds. It's like Chilla when your Ring doorbell was actually working and you got a notification, you would have seen the guy moving and setting the television down, but you wouldn't have caught him getting in his car and speeding off. Right? So, but no, I say this. It was kind of an impressive item that they have, and like you said, they have a big announcement happening next week. I think it's on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yes.
Which is
they're probably selling a cockpit to go along with the Star Wars Squadrons team.
Yes, it's all coming around, of course. So, speaking of video games, did you guys? This may just be me, but I was the 1UP arcades. Okay, there's 2 things with the 1UP arcades. There's a pro wrestler called Asuka. Katie, I don't know if you no, I was talking to somebody else about this, I think. There's a pro wrestler named Asuka. She's Japanese wrestler, works for WWE now, and I think she previously actually she was a graphic designer and actually wrote for like Xbox Magazine, I believe, in Japan. So big gamer. She has a YouTube channel, Kana TV, and my mindfulness is watching her channel because it's just her doing things. Like Katie, I almost said something else. I watched her walk through Barnes and Noble for 8 minutes while I was working on videos.
That's awesome.
Just discovering things and pops and looking for toys and figuring out what this tea set was and stuff like that. But there was one where she was building a what do you call the tabletop arcade units? The cocktail tables.
Yeah.
She was building one of those for like 10 minutes, supercut and everything. I'm just like, this is just what I'm watching right now. This is what YouTube is to me. It's just watching her build a table. Also, I'm also curious about how these things are put together because those boxes are very thin. But anyways, the reason I bring this up, Kana TV, go look it up. But there is a new announcement. There's going to be a Miss Pac-Man unit, which I think is solely Miss Pac-Man from the article. But the article got into the thing that I was excited about. There's going to be there are Marvel versus Capcom cabinets, and there's a Marvel versus Capcom and a Street Fighter versus X-Men cabinet. Some of the games are the same, like half of the games are the same, and half of the games are a little different. So this is like your Marvel superheroes, Marvel versus Capcom, the X-Men Children of the Item fighting game. It randomly throws in the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, which is a Super Nintendo game. And also the Avengers Gemstone Heist, which I believe was also a Super Nintendo game as part of this collection as well.
Was Gemstone Heist like one of the line up the gem colors and?
No, it was I think it was more of a side scroller kind of situation, much like the X-Men game in here, if I recall. And the gemstones were like what you were going after to collect. Which were basically, I think they were the Infinity Stones, to be honest. However they lined them up. So 1UP Arcade still, and they also have I think it's an X-Men virtual or Marvel virtual pinball machine as well. So like a HD screen that mimics the build and everything. There's gyroscopes in it, so you can tilt and all that kind of stuff too. So they're
also adding in the Big Buck Hunter Pro.
I was just gonna say that there's gonna be some people can't get to the bar.
Right. So this might be a fun thing for my dad for Christmas.
And they're not that bad for price. Really? I mean, I think don't they start at like $200, $150 sometimes? I'm sure you can get them like the older ones for a little cheaper, right? Like I still wouldn't mind a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat cabinet. Or let's be honest, that Ninja Turtles 4-player cabinet. Come on.
I mean, if they wanted to make big money, they would have done Golden Tee. I don't.
I feel like that's
true.
I feel like that's coming. Yeah. Like, how is it that Golden Tee and Big Buck Hunter are still just absolute staples in every bar? You know, I mean, I can remember. I don't go to bars too often, but there's probably a Golden Tee there. So, I don't know. Any other stories you guys want to hit up on here?
Did you see my dongle to help you shrink your dongle?
Dongle on dongle on dongle.
Tell me about your dongle on dongle action.
So I thought this wasn't. So I'm a fan of these type of devices because they do help me shrink my footprint in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
So Elevation Lab, well, it's the Elevation Hub by I think Elevation Lab, takes the USB-C charge port on the big power brick for newer MacBooks.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds a SD card reader, cable management, an additional USB port, and I think that's about it. But I thought it was a cool way to like multi-purpose out your charging cord.
Nice.
And also kind of giving you a wrap, because I think you have one of the newer USB-C MacBook Pros, right?
Yep.
So that cord, like they don't have like the little pieces of plastic anymore that come out and let you wrap your cable around it and have like a nice clip. So this also helps provide kind of like a wrap for your cord.
I also remember I didn't plug in. I plugged it in and I didn't plug my laptop in. So we gotten lucky so far on the show, or I wouldn't have anything to show.
And I actually had, and I can't remember what it was called now, plug bug. So I had a thing that went over on the old MacBook line chargers, like where where you could pull off the US like the American whatever charge 2-prong plug, where you slid that off and put this other one on, and it gave you 2 charging USB ports. So I mean I've used these to definitely cut down additional clutter in my bag.
I like it. So that is what was that called again? So we have that.
It's the Elevation Hub by Elevation Lab.
I think I closed the tab by accident. Awesome. That's definitely going to be a gadget pick of the week there. Katie, why am I watching Mandalorian this week? I forgot that it was still going. I haven't watched for like 2 weeks. I caught up.
We are on the score, the music of The Mandalorian.
Oh, jeez. And
I was pleasantly surprised to hear the most recognizable instrument was a very fancy recorder. The recorder instruments that a lot of us learned, well, I didn't. A lot of other people learned, and I wish I would have learned how to play when in elementary school and middle school. A very high-end recorder is one of the most prominent sounds you hear on the Mandalorian score, which was pretty neat to see. So it's a nice gateway for teachers, music teachers, going, hey, this recorder, you get good at this, and then you step up to this one, and the next thing you know, you're doing the score of a very cool TV show.
Love it. Love it.
So I thought it was really, really neat.
Oh, I guess that's what I'm watching tonight while I edit the show. I love that series. It's so good. It's just everybody just loves. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of geeks that love Star Wars, and we gave them money to make more Star Wars.
Yeah, and made it their own, and it's so cool.
It's good. Hey, we touched on all the virtual things before. We had a San Diego Comic-Con virtual replacement show in here. Wait, did I put this in here, or was that you, Chilla? Now I'm confused.
That was not me.
That was not you. I felt. Oh, that's why I was asking. That's why I'm confused. Because I put this in here and didn't realize what was going on. So similar, they also canceled the show. They're doing a virtual experience as well. Big news because it is. I mean, San Diego is basically the biggest comic convention And this is the first time in the con's 50-year history it's been canceled. So they are going to online attendees can use the hashtag to be included in virtual activities. So they're going to have a breakdown and everything as well. No details in here about what we talked about the like things like the ticket, like the virtual autograph sessions or anything like that. But they are going to have the panels and what guests are going to be expected to be on this as well. It's so weird right now because like all the movies are still getting pushed back even further. It's a friend of ours was talking about like they're supposed to be going back to work at the theater at like the beginning of July, but then like all those movies got pushed back. Like I think there's one coming out July 10th. Like I don't even know if I want to go to the movies for like Wonder Woman or something. Like I think I'll just wait for it at this point. I don't know.
Well, do you think so? With the delay, do you think there'll be a faster release to video?
I hope. They're breaking a lot of the rules. We watched Scoob over Memorial Day because it was a movie that I was going to take my mother to. So I was like, well, we're going to go get it on Apple TV. I bought it on Apple TV, Chilla, and we played it on her Roku through the Apple TV app.
Nice.
So and we talked about her collection of about 4 Roku she has in the home. She only has one that is able to run the Apple TV app. She only has one like premium. The rest are those little the ones that you can, like the little stick ones that you can plug in the old tube TVs for, if you needed to. So, but anyways, I hope I mean it's the least of things right now, but it's like it would be nice to go see a movie. I'm really interested in theaters, drive-in theaters right now and what's going on there. And actually I fishing for a project around drive-in theaters right now, to be honest. But seeing the old movies, or I've seen a lot of concerts. I saw one, when I went to their YouTube page, like it looks like they used it for graduations and everything. So like it's, that's going to be the place at least over the summer to do some interesting things. I actually was tweeting with SoCal Uncensored, which is the website whoever at that website is a website that I use when I go to California, because they have a great listing of just every wrestling show in Southern California. So when I go, it's like literally like, okay, what's on the calendar? What can I get to after I'm done with work out here? And I asked them like, hey, what does wrestling look like out there? And they said they're mostly at drive-in theaters. We're starting to spin up. So that's kind of an interesting look at that. So we'll see how that develops. Anything else you guys want to hit up in here?
I think that covers everything I had.
Yeah. Zencaster's doing video podcasting. I'm interested to see what that is. Zencaster I love because we do use it for remotes. It records what we call double enders, so it records locally on each computer, so you don't get all that VoIP, Skype, laggy stuff. Not that we have much trouble with you guys, but when we have like just a guest where you don't know what it's going to be like. So they're doing a video version, and they have a beta up for that. And I have not dived into the details on this yet, but I did sign up for the betas to test it out. And I'm curious how that's going to work. Like, is it locally recorded video, or is it just kind of an interface that's doing like a Zoom platform or something like that? So, so looking out for that as well. They're really annoying because I'll get the notice and say, no, I don't want to sign up for the beta. Log in. Go to my page to start a show, and they ask me again if I want to log in for the beta. And I was like, no, you already asked me this. So you got to work on your cookies or something over there, guys. So anyways, guys, that's all I got. That's all I got right now. Thank you, Chilla, Big Bank International, chillatech.net.
Josh Chill on the Facebook, and I will be by the studio later tonight to make the swap.
The VR swap is happening. I'm getting my upgrade. I think it's still discontinued, but it's still an upgrade to me, damn it. So
hey, you can still use it.
That's right. And, to be honest, I've wanted a newer Android device to tinker with, because I've had the S6 and the Nexus 7, and I don't know how many. This is like running. I think this is running Android 6 on here.
Probably somewhere around there.
I think the S6 is about the same thing. So appreciating that upgrade. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure you have so many Like I know the stuff that you pass on to me is like, third ring of technological throwaways.
You actually get second ring Android.
Ooh, he's upgraded me. That's how I know
So,
that's how I know our
second ring Android.
That's how I know our relationship is growing. Thank you, appreciate it. Katie and Baby Yoda and Addie.
My dudes.
You have a name for that.
Friends.
Addie or something, right?
No, I don't think I've ever named him.
Okay.
I may have called him things. I don't know. I don't remember things sometimes.
That's fine. You are updating things going on, and you're almost done with the chemo.
Yeah, next week is my last round. It was supposed to be on Tuesday, but now it's Friday. So yeah, they just want me to wait a little bit longer.
They broke the. How do they do that? Like for how many? For like most of the year, and then the last week they're like, gonna give a couple of days. You've waited this long.
15 rounds. So this round 16 is on a Friday. So 15 rounds have been on Tuesdays, and 16 is on Friday.
What the heck? What the heck?
It's all
good. It's just a couple more days. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's going great. Of course, our updates over at Kate Marie PGH on the Instagram. You can follow that as well. Like we were on a call today, and somebody was asking about you because they saw the video last night. I was just like,
aww. Everyone's really I'm surprised, not surprised, but a lot of people are worried that not to say like things are wrong with me and like I'm having issues. It's all just part of the thing. It's just all cumulative to this point that this stuff just happens, and you just got to get through it, and it's not something that's very specific to me or my mindset. It's just happened.
Yeah, you're dealing with a very big thing, and you're dealing with like you're not dealing with anything abnormal in the process.
Yeah.
Other than what the rest of the world is doing in the process. So that's great. Speaking of, because that also reminds me, I want to give a shout out to Professor Buzzkill. He's been doing some great work over there. If you are concerned or want to be educated on a lot of the things that are being discussed in the news right now, whether it be things about flags or the George Floyd protests and the history of racial justice and injustice in the country. There's
statues.
He gets into that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So he is diving into that. He is a myth buster in history. We've had him. I think we've had him on this show in the past. Yeah, we definitely had. If not this awesome chat, at least in the archives. So go check it out. ProfessorBuzzkill.com. Professor Buzzkill on the social media. I love when I see his podcast shared by somebody who I don't expect to be in the group of people, like not in our circle of people, right? It was just like, hey, it's Professor Buzzkill. Oh wait, you're sharing that. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. It's a nice educational piece, and I think that's the biggest thing right now is for people to get educated on the topics at hand, since there's a lot of bad stuff going around all over the place on quote facts. So please educate yourself and have an informed opinion about whatever that opinion may be. So thank you everybody in the chat room hanging with us all night, like Dave Podner, another fellow podcaster at Tiny Shutter. Look them up as well. Amanda Narcissi, I saw in there. BullPGH.com I think is the URL off the top of my head. Bull Pittsburgh, of course, and on the Facebooks. Thank you, everybody. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. Forgot to breathe. Thank you, chatters. We'll be on in about an hour for the Mayhem Show. Tony Kincaid will be joining us, killer announcer with the RWA. Thanks.